Hey everybody, you already know who it is. It's your girl Jelly's Vida, and we back with another Tuesday Vida talk. And today's word is what happens when you have lost it all. What do you do now? What do you do now? And the reason that I'm doing this video is because a lot of people are already frustrated with 2020 because they expected God to give them something new for 2020, and God's asking you to do something with what you already have. So let's get into the word. We're gonna read 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1 through 7. Only 7 verses, and you already know what the number 7 means. It means completion and perfection. So let's get into what the word says. One day, the widow of a member of the group of prophets came to Elijah and cried out, "My husband who served you is dead, and you know how he feared the Lord. But now a creditor has come, threatening to take my 2 sons as slaves. What can I do to help you?" Elijah asked. "Tell me, what do you have in the house?" And the lady responded, "Nothing at all, except a flask of olive oil," she replied. And Elijah said, "Borrow as many empty jars as you can from your friends and neighbors. Then go into your house with your sons, shut the door behind you, pour olive oil from your flask into the jars, setting each one aside when it is filled." So she did as she was told, and her sons kept bringing jars to her, and she filled one after another. Soon every container was full to the brim. "Bring me another jar," she said to one of her sons. "There aren't any more," he told her. And then the olive oil stopped flowing. When she told the man of God what had happened, he said to her, "Now sell the olive oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on what is left over." Now, first, I want to point out the fact that at the beginning of the story, this lady has lost her husband. She is going through a tragedy. She feels like there is nothing that she can do. The person that would provide, the person that would protect her, everything has fallen apart for this woman. And now she's facing the threat of losing her sons, meaning she had absolutely nothing left to lose. She is in a position where everything that she had has been taken away from her. So she comes to this prophet, and I'm pretty sure she comes to this prophet expecting the prophet to tell her a word from God. Like, tell me something that will console me. Like, you know I have nothing left, God. Like, tell me what you know that I want to hear. And instead of the prophet asking God, he asked her, "What do you have?" And it's interesting because she says nothing at all. But as soon as she said nothing at all, then she says, "Oh, wait, but I have olive oil." So doesn't that sound like a lot of us sometimes when we feel like we don't have nothing, but God is trying to make you see that that one thing that you have is what he is trying to use? So stop saying that you don't have nothing left, because the resources that you have right now are enough. The things that you have right now are enough. You don't need to go out looking for more when what you already have is enough. All you have to do is figure out a way to multiply and produce from it. So it's interesting because then the prophet tells her, "Go and ask for jars." She had to step out of her comfort zone for a little. In this moment of tragedy, in this moment where she is, fearful of what's to come, she had to step out of her comfort zone and ask those around her for help and for their jars. Then he tells her, "Go with your sons, go back to your house, and lock your doors." What was he telling her to do? He was telling her, go put in the work. These jars ain't going to fill up themselves. There has to come a point where, yeah, your faith could be big and all that, but if you don't take out the time, get behind closed doors, and put in the work, the jars ain't going to fill up themselves. So she had to put her sons to work. She put herself to work, and she started filling up the jars, all the jars they could find. And what's interesting, and I'm going really fast because I want to bring out the point of this story. It's only 7 verses, but it's very deep. What's interesting is that the oil did not stop because she didn't have enough oil. The oil stopped because the jars were finished. Meaning that when God asks you to do something, as long as you do your part, he's going to make sure that what you have overflows. So it wasn't her oil, it was the jars. That's it. It was enough jars. Cool, right? Now she goes back to the prophet and says, "Okay, so what am I going to do with this?" Not realizing that she took what she had, multiplied and produced from it, and he goes and tells her, "Go sell it." Now keep in mind, who is she selling it to? She does not have the capital to be moving around. She does not have the money to be going to other cities. She is selling the oil to the same people that she got the jars from. Like, tell me how mind-blowing that is. God is saying, I am going to use your resources and those around you to bless you. From the little that you have left, from what you think that nothing could come from, I'm going to bless you. And a lot of times we stop our own blessing because we don't want to use what God already gave us. We get lazy with our resources, and that's the reality of it. Now, the other thing that's interesting as well is the fact that you have to be mindful of the people that God places around you. She knew who to go to. She came to Elijah. She knew that Elijah was going to mentor her and push her in the right direction. You need to start using the people that God has around you. A lot of times we stay in a place of desolation and in a place where we feel like we have nothing, and in a place where we don't see like the opportunity around us because we're not connected to the right people. You're asking somebody that's always negative. You're asking somebody that always sees a problem with a situation. You're asking somebody that doesn't know how to reproduce what God places in their hand, what you should do with your resources, when God's placing the right people around you to tell you what to do and to mentor you and to push you and to see your own potential that you don't see in yourself. So you need to make sure that when these people are around you, you make the most out of it, and you ask God, guide me in the right direction. Connect me to the right people. Connect me to the people that see what I carry so that I can become a producer of what I already have. What I like about this story is that, in a sense, this woman didn't go and work for somebody else. She didn't go begging for resources. She didn't go begging for an opportunity. She didn't go knocking on doors saying, my husband died, I don't got nothing left, blah. No, she took what she had and she used it. And a lot of times, like I said at the beginning of this video, we get frustrated because we're expecting God to give us something new. And God's telling you, if you only would stop and see what I already gave you, if only you would take what I placed in your hands and you start to multiply it, if only you would put in the work for a second, put in the work, go and hustle. He didn't tell her the people are going to come to you and buy the oil. He said, go sell the oil. Go hustle and sell the oil to the same people you took the jars from. How does that make any sense? He's asking a widow to get her stuff together and go make something out of what she already had. And a lot of times, like I said, and I keep repeating this because I know that it's what's happening a lot of times. Our pride and our ego stops us from going out and doing what God is calling us to do. Instead of us like just going out and using what God already gave us, we'd rather sit in a corner and wait till something comes to us. And God's saying, I'm not asking you to wait for something to come to you. I'm asking you to go and get it. I'm asking you to go and get it. So it's time for us to start moving. It's 2020. It's already like 2 months in, like February is about to end, and a lot of us are sitting around with the resources God gave us waiting for something to move when God's already asking you to do what you got to do. So that was I know I went fast because this story like really like opened my eyes out, because a lot of times it's like, wow, like I'm waiting for a word from God. I'm waiting for God to give me something new, when God's like, what do you have around you? What do you have around you? What resources, what talents, what abilities, what people, what anything? What do you already have? Because what you have is already enough. Whatever is to come, He will multiply and He will bring forward. But you have to use what you already have. And thank you guys for watching this video. Oh, it's a whole 9 minutes long. I hope that you understood the lesson out of it. I really suggest that you go and read this story on your own, because it is very like 7 verses and it teaches you all that. It teaches you all that. So definitely go back and read this for yourself. Study the word. See what God reveals to you. It might be different than what He gave me, but I know that what He gave me is for somebody. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe below, comment below what you think, if this impacted you in some way. Share it, like it, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed week and use what He already gave you. If you lost it all, if there's nothing else, use what He already gave you. What do you already have? So bye guys. God bless you guys.